I'm not sure if y'all know this or not, but if you black, you was never supposed to be an American. These people came to your home and put you in chains to put you to work to build their wealth. Any form of American citizenship you do have, such as the right to own property or to vote, is because you fought for it, and not because they were just nice enough to give it to you. Matter of fact, I think good old Honest Abe explained it best while speaking in front of a crowd of 12,000 in Charleston, Illinois on September 18, 1858. He ended up saying, I am not, nor ever have been, in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races. That I am not, nor ever have been, in favor of making voters or jurors of Negroes, nor of qualifying them to hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. And I would say in addition to this that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality. And inasmuch as they cannot so live while they do remain together, there must be the position of superior and inferior. And I, as much as any other man, am in favor of having the superior position assigned to white race. End quote. Lincoln and the overwhelming majority of so-called Americans have always looked at free Africans as a problem in their American dream. Although a certain group of Africans in America have called for peace and unity between the races and full acceptance of the African as an American, not many white Americans throughout history have called for the same thing, let alone died for the cause. In the 1800s, one of the leading ideas for solving the Negro problem, not even just in the 1800s, throughout American history, with endorsements from the likes of James Madison and Benjamin Franklin, was the colonization and removal of black people from the country. The English wannabe Christian settlers of North America looked at this land as something that God had revealed to them for something of their own wealth and prosperity. Even on the ships over here in 1630, Puritan leader and Massachusetts governor John Winthrop gave speeches where he spoke of this land where millions of living human beings were already living and thriving was going to be the white man's New Jerusalem. The murder, rape, enslavement, and pillaging of native people as well as Africans in this land was all just a part of God's plan. But of course that Negro problem was not expected. As early as 1664, Maryland made it illegal for a black man to have a relationship with a white woman. Notice it says black man and white woman, because according to them, if that white man is riled up late at night and he wants your mother, your sister, your wife, your daughter, he can have her, that's within his rights, but you better not even whistle at a white girl. Many other white lawmakers followed suit and did their best to limit the free African population and limit white interaction with blacks. In 1691, not only did Virginia outlaw black and white marriage, but there was also a law stating that if you're going to free a black person, you got to take them beyond state lines first. The idea of Africans being innately inferior was already set in place, and colonizing and sending us to another place completely was increasingly looked at as a win-win for everybody. Finally, in 1816, New Jersey Presbyterian minister Robert Finley called a meeting in D.C. with many other prominent white men of the time, such as Henry Clay. At this meeting, they formed the American Society for Colonizing the Free People of Color of the United States. This society was intent on solving the Negro problem by way of attaining land in Africa and sending large numbers of free Africans there, voluntarily or by force. For those human traffickers who own Africans, removing all of the free ones from society would be a great way to reinforce the institution of slavery and reduce the chances of a Haiti-type revolution somewhere in South Carolina where black people are the majority and they could just stand up and take over everything they want to. For others, lowering or completely removing the African population was a way to restore the order and balance in the perfect Christian American society that they had in their heads ever since they got on the Mayflower. These are a lot of the same people who will tell you that you need to go back to your own country and they can make their America great again. There were also those like Finley and Lincoln who believed there was a fundamental difference between the races and the natural superior and inferior relationship that will always stop any attempts for equality and peace and just duality living between the two. They went as far as to believe that sending us back to Africa would not only be good for them and get rid of their whole Negro problem, but for ourselves and our brothers and sisters back at home alike. We would be free of competing with white people and having to live up to their such high standards. In Africa, we could reach our full, yet lower, potential. At the same time, because we have been around the whites so long and picked up a little bit of Christianity and civilization and decorum and all this other stuff, we could help to get the African heathens up to speed. The society used churches and preached sermons of Christian white nationalism in this New Jerusalem to raise money, and they eventually bought land in modern-day Liberia for the settlement of free blacks. To the white man's complete surprise, and he was almost a little bit disrespected by it, not many of the Africans or black people, whatever you want to call them, living in the United States in the 1800s actually wanted to go back to Africa. They saw Paul Cuff doing his thing with Sierra Leone, and Bishop Richard Allen, the creator of the AME Church, is said to have supported the idea of colonization at first, even saying that if he was younger, he would have gone on the journey himself. But in January 1817, at Mother Bethel AME Church in Philadelphia, 3,000 free black men met and discussed the idea of colonization to Africa. Close to none of them were in support of the idea. They naturally looked at their place of birth, as well as their mother's and grandmother's place of birth, as their home. They recognized that the society was not in any way addressing the issue of slavery in the United States, only the issue of free black people. And with the fact that Africans had done the labor to create the wealth of this country, they believed we deserve a piece of the pie too. Because the society had little support within the black community, in addition to having trouble securing federal funding for the organization, they only ended up sending about 12,000 black people back, and of that number, a majority of them didn't even survive. Yet the Americo-Liberians have a very interesting history, and you gotta make sure you leave a like if you want me to go deeper into their plight over there in Liberia. Really, if you haven't already left a like, you're really tripping. If you haven't hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, you might just be late for the next class. Let me know in the comments if you ever even heard of the American Colonization Society before I made this video. Peace.